Hi, my name is Oliver Hancock and this is my action research. Situational analysis. My first practicum experience was at Blackstone East Public School located in the Lower Blue Mountains on Darug land. Blackstone is a small suburb with a total population of 7,451 people. 2% are Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and 7.5% speak a language other than English. Australian Bureau of Statistics 2016. Blackstone is a socio-economically diverse with government housing present and the weekly average income per household $1,814. The school has approximately 418 students with 5% being Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and 11% of students who have a language background other than English. My School 2020. The school has 18 K-6 classrooms with an autism unit and an opportunity class. Blackstone has an ICSEA value of 1,078 with a distribution of socio-economic advantage being 10% in the bottom quarter and 37% in the top quarter. My School 2020. The school places an importance on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture as it consults regularly with elders as it equipped with a yarning circle. Inclusive education is a top priority with numerous student learning support officers providing additional support and teachers practicing inclusive education with differentiation and individualized learning plans. Blackstone East has a strong sporting culture offering competitive programs headed by an assistant principal in sport. Blackstone East is a PBL school with both classroom and school focuses. Each classroom has access to technology. My mentor teacher's teaching philosophy hinges on making learning relevant. The mentor places an importance on hands-on learning, explicit teaching, differentiation, and inclusive education teaching practices. The mentor teacher has made literacy the focus, explicitly phonics, reading, and comprehension. The class Kindergarten Pink has 9 boys and 12 girls. The class has one student who identifies as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and a student with level 2 autism spectrum disorder. The class has a diverse range of learning needs with a wide range of abilities with 2 at stage literacy and numeracy groups, 1 emergent, and 1 advanced group. The class has overall strengths in literacy and weaknesses in numeracy based on center and best start results. Focus and rationale. I've decided to implement dialogic teaching in my mathematics teaching practice as mathematics is flagged as a weakness in Kindergarten Pink with lack of engagement as a proposed cause. Lack of engagement in mathematics is linked to poor academic achievement. Skilling et al. 2020. In my specialization of mathematics, I believe that dialogic teaching can be applied to mathematics to increase student engagement and motivation. I will critically reflect on this, creating the basis of my action research. McNiff, 2002. Dialogic teaching is a teaching approach which engages student classroom dialogues of which students express their viewpoints and opinions and critique others in a meaningful way, which assists students in understanding of content. See NTO 2021. This pedagogy aligns closely with the MEE framework as dialogic teaching promotes the inside of classroom, which fosters the optimal learning environment, which focuses on student reflection, self-assessment, community of reflection, inclusive conversations, and specialized teacher feedback. Vass 2017, Munn, Sawyer, and Cole 2013. Dialogic teaching in mathematics supports the creation of higher cognitive, high operative, and high effective learning experiences in the MEE framework, Munns and Martin 2005. This is achieved as dialogic teaching in mathematics enables students to question and construct their knowledge of mathematical concepts through critiquing, problem solving, listening, sharing, and justifying. Attard et al. 2018. Dialogic teaching in mathematics extends mathematical thinking, reasoning, and comprehension of mathematical concepts. Baker et al. 2015. With the necessity of 21st century skills of problem solving, critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, innovation, and ICT literacy, paramount to students' future success. Scott 2015A and Scott 2015B. Dialogic teaching develops these 21st century skills by supporting student autonomy through student voice and collaboration, TA 2019. Dialogic teaching adheres with my teaching philosophy of instilling a lifelong learner mentality in students by providing a student-centered approach, substantive student engagement, and the development of 21st century skills. Alexander 2018 and Munson Sawyer and Cole 2013. Unit of work. The unit of work uses a dialogic teaching approach and is supported and aligned with the MEE framework. The theme of the unit of work is mystery problem solvers in addition and subtraction. As mathematics in kindergarten Pink has such a wide variety of ability, with most students being placed at stage and below stage expectations, it was a perfect backdrop to close the gap in ability. With inclusivity and Aboriginal connections being a focus of the school, I will ensure to cater for the diverse range of learners in kindergarten Pink. Students will use their prior knowledge of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander places to give the students relevance. Students will gather a series of clues using addition and subtraction to find out which Indigenous site has mysteriously disappeared. In the unit of work, students must collaborate, justify, reason, communicate, and use problem solving and think in critical thinking skills to solve the mystery. Throughout the unit of work, it promotes student engagement and more explicitly the MEE framework using dialogic teaching. Through high cognitive experiences, students justify their strategies and answers. High operative students are empowered learners as they are actively in task through hands-on collaborative activities. High effective as students are actively involved in their learning as they control the investigative journey and see the value in learning. The inside classroom is also adopted as student directiveness, voice, collective mean-making is promoted through dialogue and problem solving, thus 2017. Data collection. The data collection methods that I would use to measure my effectiveness as a mathematics teacher are teacher observations, student conversations, and student self-reflections. Teacher observations provide me with evidence of student behavior during my lessons. My mentor teacher will analyze and make judgments in the form of comments on student engagement, Burton and Bartlett 2009. Teacher observations of students will be implemented during problem-solving activities following the observation schedule template and group timetable. This strategy will enable a formal covert approach, thus improving the validity of the data. Burton and Bartlett 2009. Based on Perry et al. 2015, the mentor teacher will conduct 4 small group observations per lesson, totaling 5 to 10 minutes. Observations ensuring that the teacher is able to observe every ability group per lesson. The observations will be completed on each individual student, observing their behaviours regarding the ME framework, focusing on high cognitive, high affective, and high operative behaviours. I've used elements of the mathematics classroom observation protocol for practices, MCOP, and the ME framework to create an observation schedule template. Gleason et al. 2017, Mums and Sawyer and Cole 2013. Student self-assessment. At the end of each lesson, each student will complete the same student self-assessment. The questions will be pre-recorded and played for each student on an iPad. Students will record their responses verbally. Students will verbalize their name at the beginning of the questionnaire to avoid anonymity so that I can track growth and improvement in engagement. I have adapted student self-reflection questions from the Muns and Woodward 2006 Real Framework. The questions will address the student's level of engagement in the lesson regarding high operative, high cognitive, and high affective. Student self-assessment is a student-centered approach of which gives students voice and power within the classroom. It also enables students to deliver critical feedback as a clear marker of the level of engagement. Using student self-assessment enables students to engage in communities of reflective practice with their teacher through dialogue and critical reflections. This approach is a dialogic teaching approach as it engages students in dialogue through critical reflections. Alexander 2018. Student self-assessment finally allows the teacher a true representation of students' motivation and engagement. Mums and Sawyer 2006, thus providing a valuable indicator in the future teaching and learning adjustments. Conversational data. Finally, I will collect conversational data during problem-solving activities. I will place 4 iPads in the center of the group spaces and press record prior to the start of the activity. Conversational data will be collected through educational dialogue, in which students listen, contribute, justify engagement, engage with other students. SED8 Collective 2021. Educational dialogue will be collected in peer settings as will give a strong indicator of dialogic teaching at work through student reasoning and justification. Langer, Osana, and Ovlos, 2015. Educational dialogue will be compared to the ME framework for student engagement, explicitly the extent to which educational dialogue is high cognitive, high affective, and high operative. After each lesson, I will annotate and analyze the conversational data and note changes. Dialogue annotation format is based on T-CETA, Osana and Ovlos 2015, and Bobus 2017. Analysis of student data. I will analyze observational, conversational, and student self-assessment data to determine the effectiveness of my dialogic teaching in mathematics. I will use the process of qualitative data analysis to analyze the data I collected. This process involves me categorizing and coding data. Wong 2008. I will measure my teaching against markers in high cognitive, high affective, high operative, and disengagement behaviors and outcomes. T-CETA Collective 2021, Bobus 2017, Mumsen, Sawyer and Cole 2013, Osana and Avlos 2015. To code the data, I will use the same codes across all data types to allow for effective categorization of data. I will use the codes A for high affective, O equals high operative, C equals high cognitive, and D equals disengagement. After coding each piece of data, I will then compare the data to know any changes over the course of my 3 lessons, explicitly any changes in individual student engagement and any changes in the class's overall engagement. The categories I will use are positive change, negative change, and no change in student engagement. Finally, this information will tell me the extent to which I facilitated in-task behavior in an inside a classroom using dialogic teaching in mathematics. I will conclude by reflecting on my action research and articulating implications for my future teaching practice in mathematics. Summary statement. Upon the completion of my action research, I hope to develop as a mathematics teacher. The skills that I hope to improve is my facilitation of educational dialogue, namely mathematical discourse in student group settings, and the development of my mathematical learning skills in the areas of problem solving and mathematical inquiry. In adopting a dialogic pedagogy, I hope to use discourse to enhance student understanding of mathematical concepts. I hope to develop my learning activities to feature problem-solving and mathematical inquiry to achieve. To achieve this, I rely on student engagement and collaboration in group scenarios. As students learn through dialogue, group work, and inquiry, Standard 1.2.1, it will develop my understanding and application of numeracy teaching strategies 2.5.1 of open-ended investigative and problem-solving learning activities. My action research will influence the way I teach in the future, as I'll see the benefits of collaboration, communication, and using a student-centered approach. Dialogic teaching will highlight the impact of collaboration and communication on student engagement and understanding in mathematics. Through providing dialogic learning spaces, students will develop their mathematical understanding through sharing, listening, reflecting, and justifying through group collaboration and communication, influencing me to use more student collaboration in my future learning activities. We'll also highlight the benefits of using a student approach, dialogic teaching, in maintaining student engagement, influencing me to relinquish power and control in my future classrooms. Aligning with the teaching standards upon evaluating the effectiveness of dialogic teaching, I will change and improve my teaching program 3.6.1 to cater for increased student communication and collaboration strategies 3.5.1, enabling an effective classroom approach. Philosophically, my action research will change my teaching philosophy due to the adoption of the MEE framework. Through reflection, I will see the value of providing high effective cognitive and operative learning experiences. Student engagement will become the core of my philosophy as I will witness increased student achievement and growth in mathematics. By selecting engaging high cognitive operative and effective content 3.4.1, it has enhanced student participation and engagement 4.1.1. As a result of this action research, it will guide my existing and future teaching practices. I plan to engage in constant reflective practice and professional development to continue to improve and develop my teaching practices. Thank you.